Hey everyone, welcome back to IGC in Vision Game Community. My name is Finite, and I'm back today with another review from our good friend Adam. And this game is called Romeo is a Dead Man. Oh yeah. Okay, so if you ever played a game by Suda, also known as Suda51, you already know one thing: you're in for something weird. But Romeo is a Dead Man might be the strangest ride yet. It's a game about a resurrected agent hunting multiversal anomalies while trying to find different versions of his girlfriend across collapsing timelines. Oh, and his grandfather, lives as a talking animated image on the back of his jacket. Yes, it's that kind of game. Weird. Today we're going to take a deep dive into Romeo is a Dead Man on Xbox to see whether this bizarre multiverse adventure is actually worth playing. Story. A multiverse of madness, like we'd not heard that title before. At its core, Romeo is a Dead Man tells a twisted version of the classic Romeo and Juliet story. But instead of feuding families, we've got space-time distortions, collapsing universes, and mutated multiverses, versions of Juliet trying to kill you. After a mysterious event destroys most of reality, fragments of different timelines begin floating together across space. Romeo dies during the chaos, but is resurrected using advanced nanotechnology after encountering something known as the White Devil. Now he's a dead man, recruited by the FBI Space-Time Division to hunt anomalies across the multiverse. His mission? Save what's left of reality, stop timelines from collapsing, and somehow find the real Juliet among countless deadly versions of her. If this sounds completely insane, that's because it bloody well is. But somehow the game makes it work. So the presentation. From the moment the game begins, you know you're playing something different. The opening scene starts with a miniature stop-motion city before suddenly shifting into a dashcam car sequence that honestly feels like something you'll see in a late-night cinema screen. Throughout the game, storytelling constantly changes style. You'll see traditional cinematic cutscenes, polygon panels, environmental notes explaining the lore, strange, surreal sequences. The result feels less like a traditional video game and more like an experimental sci-fi movie. Does everything make perfect sense? Nope, absolutely not. I'm kidding. Not really. But, it's wildly entertaining. The gameplay... Gameplay in Romeo is a Dead Man is actually a mix of several different styles. The main action is a third-person hack-and-slash combat system that feels somewhat reminiscent of Lollipop Chainsaw. But the game constantly switches things up. Between combat sequences, you encounter motorcycle chases across interdimensional highways, starship segments collecting items in space, platforming puzzles, surreal cyberspace exploration, and tying everything together is a top-down 2D pixel hub world. There we go, I said it. So the hub. The hub area is where you spend time with the game's bizarre cast of characters. You can see, well, here you can cook the food, grow the crops, learn strange conspiracy theories, accept new missions, upgrade weapons. The hub has a quirky charm that fits the game's overall personality, and thankfully, weapon upgrades are also available during missions, so you're not forced to constantly return. A little bit back to the combat. Combat is mostly melee focused, but Romeo also carries 4 firearms, including a shotgun, a rocket launcher, and other range options. Each weapon has strengths and weaknesses, especially when it comes to reload speed. There are also multiple melee weapons to unlock, including, not limited to, a lightning fast katana, spiked combat gloves, heavier blades that deal massive damage. You mix light attacks, heavy attacks, dodges and special abilities while fighting off waves of enemies. Early enemies move slowly, but later in the game you'll face aggressive demon-like creatures that swarm you while launching explosive attacks and poison effects. And things can get rather chaotic very, very quickly. Okay, the bastard system, or bastard system. Wow. One of the most unusual mechanics in the game involves something called bastards. Enemies drop zombie seeds which you can plant to grow undead allies. Each bastard has its own unique ability, such as suicide bombing enhancement, spreading poison clouds, supporting you in the boss fights. They can also be fused together by letting them fight each other. The winner mutates into a stronger version with new abilities. It's strange, funny, and surprisingly useful. Upgrades. Character upgrades are handled through a strange mini-game that resembles You move through a maze selecting upgrades while spending a resource called Emerald Flosion. This acts as the game's version of experience points. The only issue is that the game doesn't always explain what certain stats do, which can make upgrading weapons a little bit confusing. The boss battle, we touched upon that a few minutes ago, didn't we? Boss fights are where the game really shines. They're grotesque, creative, and often require targeting weak points while avoiding massive area attacks. Combined with enemy reinforcements, they can become intense multi-layered battles. However, the animation system sometimes causes frustration. Certain actions like reloading or heavy attacks must finish their animation before you can dodge, which means you'll occasionally take cheap hits, which you couldn't avoid. So to go along with the boss battles, you have visuals and audio, obviously. Technically this isn't AAA graphical powerhouse, but the art style carries it. The game is full of surreal environments, hyper-violent combat effects, and strange horror imagery. Your designers also enhances the experience, especially during intense combat and the nightmare-like sequences. It's stylish, chaotic, and very much in line with the Grasshopper Manufacturer's identity. So, Adam's final thoughts. We've come to the end. Oh yeah. Like most Suda51 games, Romeo is a Dead Man is definitely an acquired taste. It's bizarre, it's chaotic, and sometimes barely makes sense. But if you enjoy games that take creative risks and push the boundaries of storytelling, this is absolutely worth experiencing. And compared to some of Suda51's earlier titles, this might actually be one of the most accessible games yet. Now Adam gave some pros and cons. The only con he gave was the animation system can lead to being hit. So that's very frustrating. But the pros, he basically says the visuals and the combat is very stylish. Even though the story is bizarre, it's also entertaining. And of course, surprisingly cohesive despite the madness. That's basically it. He scored the game a 7 out of 10. If you like this review of Romeo is a Dead Man, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, a thumbs down. It makes no difference because you can't see thumbs down anymore. Got any comments? Leave it down below. And thank you for watching another video. And I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, fine.
Excuse me.
Thanks.